Hello dear friend, welcome to online lecture series. This is Dr. Ramnath Andhale, Assistant Professor in Department of Zoology of KRT Art, BH Commerce and AM Science, well-known KTHM College Nasik. Today we are going to deal with the second lecture on Zoology paper first as a title Animal Diversity Part 2. We discuss about the chapter number first, phylum Aschelminthes. Today we are going to discuss about the classification of phylum Aschelminthes. Before this, I just suggest you some prerequisites read. In that, one of the interesting book is available in market or in our KTHM library. This is the Invertebrates. This book is written by the R.L. Kotpal, and in this book you are specifically go through the lesson number 4 and you get it the good information of the phylum Aschelminthes. Similarly, the another book is also available in market and library also. This book name is the Animal Diversity Part 2. This book is published by the Vision Publication, written by Dr. V.R. Kakurte and other colleagues. And in this book you can specifically go through the lesson number 1. You get the good information of the classification of phylum Aschelminthes. Okay, before to initiate today's lecture, I just take the quick review of previous lecture and then starting the today's lecture. You know that in previous lecture we discussed about the introductory information of phylum Aschelminthes. You go to the detail about how many Aschelminthes species is found in the world, who discovered the term of Aschelminthes, what it means Aschelminthes, it's commonly called as the cavity worms. This whole thing we discussed in the previous lecture, as well as we also discuss about the different silent feature of phylum Aschelminthes. In that, this Aschelminthes phylum, they consist of the cavity worms. This whole body is worm-like. They also have the complete digestive system. These so many characters we are learned. This also shows the two mode of life. Like some Aschelminthes group shows the free-living habitat. Some Aschelminthes group shows the parasitic mode of life. These all things we discussed in the previous lecture. Okay, now today's session we discuss about the very first, this group of Aschelminthes animals are classified into some small groups, and that phenomena, these things is known as how they are classified, and this classification part we discuss how many class is found in the Aschelminthes animals, and in that classification is one of the class is very well successfully evolved by the time of evolution, and therefore we go to the detail about these silent features or characters of the class Nematoda. These two parts we discussed in the today's session. Very firstly we go to the quick part as a learning objective. Why learn this and how do you get it after learning of these things? The very first, you student, it should be understand how the classified the phylum Aschelminthes, which are the class found in the phylum Aschelminthes, and other one, this classification, or you can understand all cavity worms are anthropologically as well as ecologically important to the human society and the nature or ecology. In that, very first we discuss about the classification of Aschelminthes, and this phylum Aschelminthes this phylum is divided into the 5 classes. On the basis of what basis they are classified? The basis of the free-living habitat, the basis of the parasitic mode of life, the basis of some behavioral character. Whole thing we have discussed, and this basically this phylum Aschelminthes is divided into the 5 classes. Which are they? Basically the rotifer, then gastrotricha, then inertia, then nematoda, then Nematomorpha. These are the 5 class found in the phylum Aschelminthes. And you go to this Aschelminthes, is this phylum is very only one successful animal group. That successful animal group or class is known as a nematoda. And these nematode worms is specifically more evolved in the evolutionary times. We can just go through this schematic flow diagram of the classification of phylum Aschelminthes. The Aschelminthes, this group is divided into the very first class, is known as a rotifer. You know that the rotifer animal is found in the aquatic habitat, and mostly this identification character of this rotifer is that we can look at the wheel organ is found in their body, and this wheel organ is one of the identification character of these animal are the rotifers. Then the gastrotychs. The gastrotycha is another class belong to the phylum Aschelminthes. Then Chinorchia. Chinorchia is another one class, is belong to the phylum Aschelminthes. Then most evolved successful group class found in the Aschelminthes, this is known as a nematode, and this fourth one class of the phylum Aschelminthes. And lastly, the Nematomorpha is a class of Aschelminthes. That means it's easy to in front of you. The phylum Aschelminthes is divided into the 5 classes. Out of 5 classes, the one nematodes is well successful group, and they evolve in the phylum Aschelminthes. Then we go to the detail about the class of nematoda. What are the character features of the, or what are the silent features of the class nematoda? Very first, the nematode animal. This animal is look like to the thread-like structure. It look like to thread-like, and this thread-like structure, thread-like worm-like or vermiform body, it commonly called as the pinworm or the roundworm. This is a common name for the nematode worms, and this body is covered with, because the worm body is covered the thick cuticle, and these are the protecting covering covered with the whole body. This is protecting cover is known as a cuticles. Then these nematode worms shows a different mode of life, different habitat. The few nematode worms are found in the aquatic habitat. Some are found in the terrestrial habitat. Some show the parasitic mode of life on the decaying matters of some organic plant content. And these are the specific environment these nematode worms are harbored on this specific area. Again, this is one of the important feature related to character of nematoda. These all nematode worms shows the bilateral symmetry. What is the bilateral symmetry? That means this any pinworm or roundworm, you can make it the two equal half part of the body, and this is the representation of this shows the bilateral symmetrical body. They also, these nematode worms is found in the soil, and up to these nematode worms is search, we can get it, we can dug into the 8 meter below the soil. In up to the 8 meter below the inside the soil, these nematode worms live in the below of 8 meter. You can think about that, how far they live in the inside the soil body or soil structure. Then these nematode worms, basically this number of nematode worms is found in abundant in agriculture area. Why agriculture area? Because they prefer the decaying matter of organic plant content, and ultimately in agriculture area they get it more abundant decaying matter of plant organic content, and ultimately that area they prefer it, and ultimately this number or this abundance is very high in agriculture sites. Then Another things to the is all nematode worms are more adaptable and distributed in the Pacific region in the world. That Pacific region is that the Arctic region and the tropic region. These two regions of the nematode worm are distributed and in the environment. Very important features like that there is the these all nematode worms show the smooth body covered with cuticle and they are absent of the cilia. The cilia is not found on the body surface. Then the next, the epidermis of these nematode worms, we can know that we discuss about this covered with the cuticle. Ultimately, the below the cuticle there is present of the single layer of epidermis. This is thin, and they also expand as a longitudinal cord in the four quadrant. We can look at there is 1, 2, 3 and 4. The 4 quadrant they divide the whole body, and this animal shows a pseudocoelom. That means in that body they shows some cavity, but this cavity is the false cavity. The pseudo cavity is there. The false cavity found in the worm's body, and this is the commonly called as they are pseudocoelomic. There is no coelomic cavity. False coelomic cavity is found in the nematode worms, and this is one of the important character features of the nematode. Okay, then we can just discuss about the internal body structure of these nematode worms. Very first character features of the nematode worms. In that nematode worm, they specifically live on the parasitic mode of or the decaying matters. Ultimately, there is no need to the circulatory system is absent or no circulatory system found in the nematode worms. Then how they excrete this nitrogen based product or unwanted content found in body, they excrete by the excretory system with help of the genite. Then the important feature is that this nematode worm shows the complete digestive system, starting from the mouth to the anus. In between, the whole system is fully complete developed system found in the nematode worms. Again, these nematode worms, we can view the nervous system, and in the nervous system, in the nematode worms, there is present of the brain and the ganglions is found in the nervous system, and this nervous system is they just establish the nervous system in the nematode worms. They are pseudocoelomic, already discussed in the previous slide. Okay, then you know that there is a whole complete digestive system. That means ultimately the digestive system is complete, and the very specialized features, the intestine in the nematode worms is well developed, and ultimately this very important features to the complete digestive system. Then the sexes of these nematode worms are separated, and they also show the sexual dimorphism. What is the sexual dimorphism? That means this male body and female body shows a specialized character of male and the female structure. We can discuss about this sexual dimorphism in the next slide. There is specifically we can discuss about the roundworms. Before this, we discuss about this class Nematoda consist of the 17 different order. These 17 different order, out of these, the 7 orders show the pre-living characters, pre-living nematodes in the environment. Then 2 order of class Nematoda shows the free-living or parasitic mode of life, and the remaining 8 order of nematode consist of the fully parasitic mode of life. That means the class Nematoda consists of the 17 order, and this 17 order, 7 are free living, 2 are free living or parasitic mode of life, any one type of mode of life, and 8 are strictly show the parasitic mode of life. This is the character features. Then In that nematode worms, the cleavage is determinant. Determinant type of cleavage is found in the nematode worms. The classification of nematoda is specifically adapted from the Heyman in 1951. You know that this nematoda shows a vermiform body, and this tube body plan observed in the tubular body plan or tube body plan observed in the nematode worms. About till today, there is reported about 15,000 different species of nematode is reported in the environment or in science, and we know that there is different example of the nematodes. You know that there is Ascaris lumbricoides is one of the animal is nematode worms, and Vaucheria boncopti is another example of nematode worms. We can look at the pictures. This picture shows that this is the Ascaris lumbricoides, and we can see the very specific diagram as Ascaris lumbricoides. This color pattern is creamy white in color. Just shows the vermiform body, elongated, unsegmented structure. This is a female body. Ultimately, there is no curve observed in the any one end, and ultimately these are the female nematode Ascaris lumbricoides. In the just another picture, we can view that there is two worms observed, and this shows the sexual dimorphism. What are the sexual dimorphism? The first character feature, the below worms is the male body and the upper worms is the female body. The character feature first sexual character, male body or male structure is smaller than female. Then the second, the one end of the nematode worm shows the curved structure. Otherwise, in female they are not shows any curved structure. And next character feature, at the end part of this curly structure, the presence of the genital papilla. But in female worms, there is absent of the genital papilla. These are the very sexual dimorphic character observed in the nematode worms. Then next example in the class nematoda. This is example Vaucheria boncopti, or this also known as the Vaucheriasis. This worm, this is one of the another example of nematode worms, and this nematode worms is caused by the one of the disease. This is known as the elephantiasis or lymph nodules. The inflammation of lymphatic system is observed in the patients, and this Vaucheria boncopti is caused due to the some mosquito bite to the human, and they transmit this Vaucheria nematode worms through the mosquito to the human body. Okay, these are the very basic information. Then you can just go through the some reflection point as like to the how many major class found in the phylum Aschelminthes. You can go through this lecture. You can get answer of this question. Also, it is a pinworm as act as human parasite. Also, you can go through that lecture and you can get it information about the pinworms. Okay, now the time for you. The very simple point of view, we can go through that. You can write note on the classification of phylum Aschelminthes and describe the class of nematoda in phylum Aschelminthes. These two questions you can write the detail about answer of two questions and upload on our Google Classroom. After completion of uploading of Google Classroom, you can also send me my email ID Dr. Ramnath @kthmcollege.ac.in. Just we go to the quick review of today's session. In today's session, we discuss about the classification of phylum Aschelminthes. You know that the phylum Aschelminthes is divided into the 5 classes: the rotifers, then the nematomorpha, then the Chinorchia, nematoda, and the nematomorpha. These are the 5 class which belong to the Aschelminthes. Then we also discuss about the very specialized character features. This is the successful class of the phylum Aschelminthes is the nematoda. This part we discuss in the today's session. We go to the detail about example of the nematode as a Ascaris lumbricoides and the Vaucheria concavity. Then we just take the preview or recap of tomorrow's session or next lecture session. In next lecture we discuss about the economic importance of the Aschelminthes. Specifically, these Aschelminthes or these nematode worms, they also act as a human parasite, they also act as a plant parasite, and they also act as a domestic parasite, domestic animal parasite. We go to the detail about study in the next lecture. Thank you. We can stop here.